So I came of age during the era when the internet was coming of age. And as I blossomed from a boy into a man and discovered things about myself, I also discovered what was available on the internet. The first naked woman I ever saw was a picture I downloaded at candylist.com. And as I grew into a man, I began to watch videos, short 10-second clips, typically silent, but that's all I had in those days. It was the dark ages. When I was 17, my parents decided to adopt again, and they were going for the money this time. 2 Russian children. We were gonna fly halfway across the world, pick these kids up and bring them back. We were supposed to be there for 1 week, but it quickly turned into a big legal battle, and it was clear my parents would be there for over a month. And I had to get back to start school. So I started flying back alone from Perm to Moscow, and then I had a layover in Amsterdam. And I was so glad to be out of Russia. The food had been terrible, and I just stumbled into a duty-free shop to find a candy bar. And as I was reaching for that Snickers, I noticed a giant wall of porn. And I approached it cautiously and tentatively, looked around, saw some pretty good stuff. And then I looked at my airplane ticket and I said, oh, I'm listed as an adult. So I saw, something small, a computer CD with some pornography on it, took it to the counter furtively and tried to buy it. And lo and behold, he checked my ticket, not my passport, and I bought some porn. And then I realized this might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I went back. I didn't need magazines, pictures. The internet had that covered. I had my eye on those videotapes. I was just thinking about it. 60 minutes of sex with sound on my parents' 27-inch TV. This was gonna be amazing. The first one I picked out was called Private Gold. Wasn't sure what that was, but it sounded pretty special. Next, I picked up Sex Safari. Had to be pretty great. Went to the counter, put the tapes down, didn't even look how they rung up until he asked me for the money. I spent over $100 on porn. My parents had given me $200 for 3 weeks of food. But I was willing to make that sacrifice, because these 3 weeks, these were gonna be my weeks. Every day after school is just gonna be me and my tapes. So I'm walking down the concourse, feeling pretty great about life. And then I started to get a little worried. I was like, wait, this is legal in Amsterdam. But at some point, this isn't gonna be legal anymore. And my ass is gonna be in the fire. So I went from so excited to pretty worried. And then as we were boarding my flight, apparently there was a foreign dignitary flying out of the Amsterdam airport that day, so they were interviewing all of the passengers. Yeah. And of course, being a 17-year-old boy traveling alone was already a little suspicious, and I was sweating and shaking. And as you can hear, my voice just isn't that convincing. So he's asking me the same questions again and again. Where are you coming from? Where are you going? Why are you traveling? And I know I'm in trouble. And I notice all the other passengers finish their interviews. They're getting on the plane. It's just me and a group of interviewers standing in a circle. And I say, look, man, I'll confess to you, I bought some porn. And he said, is that illegal in your country? Because it's not illegal here. He said, let me talk to my supervisor. So he walks over to the group of 8 young people, some of them very attractive. He says something, they all burst out into laughter. But then I got on the plane. And I'm flying home and I feel good because this plane is gonna land in Detroit. And I know, I'm gonna be in the US of A where people treat you right, and I realize it's illegal for me to have porn. I realize that this flight is a ticking clock to me going through customs and the inevitable arrest that I'm sure is waiting. So I got crafty. The first thing I did was look at the CD. I said, you know what, I can hide this. I had a Dungeons and Dragons book with me, and it had a CD case embedded in the back. So I threw away the CD cover in the airplane bathroom and slipped the porn CD behind the other CD. I was like, they'll never find me. This is some James Bond shit right here. But then I looked at the tapes. I took those to the bathroom, took out the cover art from the cases and shredded it, put it in the garbage, wanted to make sure nobody could connect me to it. But I realized there was just nothing I could do with the tapes, and I'm sweating, and I've got, the one guy on my shoulder saying, Nate, throw the tapes away. It is not worth going to jail for porn. You're only a year away from being 18. The other guy was saying, keep it. Keep it, keep it, keep it. You're gonna make it, it's gonna be amazing, keep it. I couldn't throw it away, guys. Put it in my backpack and said, you know what? I'm gonna work it out. So the plane lands and I feel like I'm gonna barf. Get off the plane, go through customs, first checkpoint cleared. Second checkpoint cleared, went into the bathroom, moved the tapes from my backpack to my suitcase, thinking. Put them into pairs of underwear, maybe you wouldn't want to go in there. And then I'm walking through the third station and nobody's stopping me, so I'm heading for the double doors and a gentleman came up and said, sir, please go to the table. I was like, oh God, this guy can totally kick my ass. And he had a taser. So he's going through my bags, he looks at my books and whatnot, and we're good. And he's going through my clothes and he spots 2 little black boxes. And he's like, would you please take those out, sir? And I did. And he opened the first one and it was a videotape called Private Gold. He looked at it and put it away. He didn't know it was porn. And then he opened Sex Safari. And I was like, hey. He said, what is this, sir? I bought some porn. He said, is it child porn? And I was like, no, never I would know, no. Said, all right, sir, have a good time. So then I'm walking, get out of the international concourse, go into the domestic concourse. I have to fly from Detroit to Washington in 8 hours. And I'm sitting in my chair with my bags, getting ready. Had some panicky moments where I was like, maybe he's gonna come back. Maybe he thought I was gonna put up a fight. He's gonna come here with like 12 guys and a tank. But you might be surprised to learn that didn't happen. So I flew back to DC, uneventful. My father's friend picked me up, drove me home, dropped me off, walked in the front door, and I said, "It's time for some porn." So I took out Sex Safari, put it in the VCR, and hit play. Snowy lines crossed the screen, and squeaky noises, sort of like a malfunctioning Alvin and the Chipmunks album, came from the television. And I said, "Damn it." Came all this way, and I picked a broken tape. But whatever, I've got another one. It's Private Gold. It's the one I'm more excited about. Shouldn't have gotten greedy with Sex Safari, but not that into bestiality anyway, so it'll work out. So I take out Private Gold, put it in. Doesn't work either. Yeah, apparently VHS in Europe is different. So then I took the tapes and broke them over my knee. Pulled the film out of there, said, "This, you deserve to be punished." And then went to the computer, started downloading 10-second clips. And I said, "Wait, the CD." I hid it from myself so well I forgot about it. Then I went, got that, put it in the computer, and I was like, all right, this is gonna be great. It was crystal clear, the sound was crisp, and the porn was so shitty. It was the worst porn I've seen in my life. I took that out and snapped the CD. Then I ate beans for 3 weeks. Thank you.